from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Chill.
And today is Monday.
And this is Bacon and Eggs.
So rise from the Sarlacc pit.
And take your place as Daimyo.
Because today we're bringing you
the Book of Boba Fett. Okay, so Tyler, get this. We pan down from the twin sons of Tatooine onto the Sarlacc pit, and after a beat, the gloved Mandalorian armored hand of Boba Fett rises from the sand.
I can't believe they did that.
I absolutely can believe they did that.
They've really said the gloves are off.
Yeah, because Patton Oswalt is like a producer on this show.
Yes, and he's not just like, I don't know if he is, but I know Patton Oswalt is in the inner circle. You know what I'm saying?
But he is like credited for this.
Right, but that could be like Paramore being credited for Good For You. You know, it could be like, we took this from Patton Oswalt and we want him to know, but this is kind of a wink.
But even that's what I'm saying is like it is not like they were just sitting around, right? Like it was his idea.
Yeah. They
it wasn't just a script that was sitting around like, oh well, Boba Fett's gonna reach out of the Sarlacc pit. No.
Yeah. Well, and it's kind of like it's not that it doesn't fit. That's not what I'm trying to say. But it is like, this is definitely like a set piece moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how else you could have done it, but I also don't know that you had to do it this way, I guess. I don't know. I thought it was awesome.
Anyway, episode 1, Stranger to Strange Land, directed by Robert Rodriguez, released December 29, 2021, just 4 days ago, and it got 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. Tyler, what do you think of this show?
I really like this.
Yeah, this is good. It's no Mandalorian, right?
No, but it isn't in a good way.
Yeah.
Like, I thought, as I was watching it, as I was going through the whole episode, I was like, I need to rewatch all of Mando.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
And I think Temuera Morrison, I don't think that he is a fantastic actor.
No.
I don't know what his like background is, but I think when you're like, he's obviously the only person that can do this part. And when you approach him, you're Star Wars, Boba Fett's this legendary character, you're putting like a lot of weight on Temuera Morrison's shoulders.
Yeah. But at the same time, they're absolutely playing to his strengths and ignoring his weaknesses, right?
Yes.
They're reminding us that Star Wars gets to be Star Wars in a way that I don't want to say that these shows sour my opinion on the sequels at all. I do think that I didn't like Rise of Skywalker very much. I go back and forth on Rise of Skywalker. I think... Well, here's my point. I've seen it once.
Yep.
And I've had absolutely no desire to watch it again.
So...
Right, like, not in the same way that I haven't had a desire to watch Avengers Endgame, where, like, I watch Avengers Endgame, and I'm like, that's 3 hours of my life, and it's gonna hurt. Right? But I think I don't think about watching The Rise of Skywalker. It doesn't occur to me to watch The Rise of Skywalker. But
the more I dig into Star Wars, the more
they really just don't fit.
Not that they don't fit, because I think they do. I think there's fantastic storytelling, maybe not in Rise of Skywalker, but in the first two.
Right, but fantastic storytelling is never really... This is the same point you've been making vocally on Twitter about Prisoner of Azkaban. Is that, like, Star Wars has really never been about fantastic storytelling.
It kind of has.
It kind of hasn't.
Book of Boba Fett, in my mind, is Jon Favreau expanding on specifically Return of the Jedi. Like, okay. I think, we always talk about with the Star Wars or with the Marvel shows where they sit down and they're like, we need to make them love Iron Man
property
2. Do we need to really fix? I think,
and like Mando's job,
and maybe it's just because Mando's job was to sell everybody on Star Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, Mando's job was to sell everybody on Star Wars. To be like, hey, listen, we heard your complaints about the sequels. we're not going to decanonize them, but it's also not going to be like that, right? Like,
we're gonna do more of this stuff.
More of this stuff, yeah.
But I think the whole point. Obviously, there's some Attack of the Clones influence. There's like scenes pulled straight from Attack of the Clones in this, which I thought was cool. I actually didn't know, like, Disney, in my mind, I think what Disney originally did with the sequels and with Mando was say, like, I get it, you didn't like the prequels, this is something different. And for a long time, I felt like they were never going to reference the prequels.
Yeah.
I know that they made Clone Wars Season 8 or Season 7 or whatever. Like, I'm familiar with all of that. But it seems like, from a lot of what I've read, that the focus from the Disney canon team is on original trilogy.
Yeah.
And I think I just watched Return of the Jedi, so maybe I'm just thinking about it a lot. And I watched the beginning of Return of the Jedi twice, like the first act through the Jabba thing, and just because I wanted to. And that is what this show thematically feels like to me.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it pulls from a lot of the obviously this happens before the sequels, so
right.
We are still going to have to rectify that at some point.
Yeah, it's yeah.
But
there's going to have to be an on-screen representation of, like, how did we get
to the First Order from here?
Yeah. How did that happen?
How did that happen? But there's a lot of Return of the Jedi in this. There's a lot of New Hope in this, obviously, because it takes place on Tatooine.
Yeah.
And you, like, see a different moisture farmer family getting raided.
I think what I love about Tatooine and what Book of Boba Fett has already done is this is like a masterclass in. I know we've done a lot of set pieces here on Tatooine, but let's look at all the different characters we've met here and how we've developed them from Mando and from the movies and from everything. I thought it was crazy. Like, one of the things I absolutely love is how Disney is like, hey, George Lucas, that Tusken Raider thing where you just made the Sand People like these mindless villains was kind of racist.
Yeah, we're gonna fix that.
We're gonna fix
gently.
That. Yeah,
and also, and here's the thing: but the first episode of Book of Boba Fett has been, and I thought it was going to be too early to do things like this, to make bold strokes like this, but it has been a brilliant retcon for the character of Fennec Shand and Ming-Na Wen as an actress.
I love Fennec Shand.
Yeah, but she was awful in the first season of Mando.
Yeah,
just terrible.
Yeah, she
just absolute garbage. Dog
what
water.
What I love about Ming-Na Wen, and this is, I was surprised I felt this way, because I think Ming-Na Wen is a great character actor, and she does stuff like this well, but I also think she comes in and, like, does this sort of campy TV style acting all the time, and I think it can be a little rough to watch.
Yeah.
I did not expect her and Temuera Morrison to have the chemistry that they had.
In a campy TV acting setting.
Yeah. And
because
this is campy.
This is still no. I'm just going to start all that over. Tip of the tongue, teeth in the lips. This is a silly TV show.
Yes.
The immediately they were like, okay, with The Mandalorian, you got lower stakes Star Wars. What we're going to give you is lower stakes Mandalorian.
Yes.
Like, this is the Star Wars softball.
Yes.
It is going to probably take place entirely in this one town.
I don't know about that.
And in the past.
Yeah. And I like the flashback thing that they're doing. I think it's interesting.
We are definitely not going to escape that. And I think they're going to continue to just pepper little prequel scenes, little OT scenes in there to recontextualize them in a way that makes you feel better about those movies and better about
Boba Fett.
About Boba Fett. They've proven they can do this in Mando Season 2. They've proven they can do this with the Marvel shows. Like, the team that, I mean, I'm sure it's Star Wars, so it's a different team, but I imagine there's a similar degree of oversight here. But the team that is working on these canon gymnastics is doing such a good job. Constantly.
Yes.
In ways that I just could not have ever predicted or expected or hoped for.
I'm sure Kathleen Kennedy has called Jon Favreau and Kevin Feige into a room and been like, hey, what is the sauce? And how can we make it work for Star Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, what can we do here?
And
how do we keep Joe and Anthony Russo out of it?
keep the Russo brothers not important. And Joss Whedon, please do not send him my way.
Yeah. How do we make Dave Filoni feel like he is included, and also make Dave Filoni fanboys make him feel like he is included?
They love them some Dave Filoni.
But they're definitely keeping him on a short leash.
Yes. And I feel like I think what happened was 20 years ago, whenever they did the Clone Wars, they were like, Dave, you can have, because this is what they do. I didn't know this. When the authors get to write their novels, they tell them what characters they can use.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll like write a character in and be like, hey, I think this would really fit. Can I use it? And a lot of times Disney's like, no, you can't do that. And I think what happened was they came to Dave Filoni and they were like, hey, here's the list of characters you can use. And it wasn't extensive.
Yeah.
It was like a bunch of random Jedi, like Poe Kloon, all these random people. And of course you can use Anakin and Obi-Wan. But we'll let you create a character, which I think is where Ahsoka came from. And we'll let you use Darth Maul. And he has clung to that.
Yeah.
Like you wouldn't believe.
He sat down in a basement with a sketchbook, just like, all right, let's go, because this was, I don't even remember where they came with the movie was like 2008, right? And
yeah,
LucasArts was sitting there like, we are failing rapidly. Did y'all see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? People hated that movie.
Yeah,
we are in trouble. So Dave, you know what? Do whatever you want. If the kids get interested in Star Wars, great, have fun. And then Disney came in and were like, we would like to throw all of the money at this.
Billions
of dollars at this, right? People want Star Wars. They want it made by J.J. Abrams. And then they were like, okay, we've got a huge problem here in that none of this matches, and we've been letting this guy say whatever he wants about Anakin Skywalker for years. Years.
We really made
him a sympathetic character. And nobody's really entirely sure how we get back to
Vader.
Vader, yeah.
Killing kids.
But yeah, no, I think this show is fantastic. It is super low stakes. The flashbacks are great. Especially like they're almost entirely nonverbal because none of the three people that are hanging out speak the same language.
Oh, I know.
And you're going to just continue to see, I think, how Boba Fett survived for however many years, 5, 6, 10 years on Tatooine without his armor.
Yeah.
And that's
I hope we
fascinating.
get to see what's his name show up again. The dude that took his armor.
Oh, yeah.
The Marshal,
the cowboy.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. That was a cool episode. With the Crate Dragon.
Yeah. And I love, oh my God, the 6-legged monster thing. I love the way they did the choreography with how the arms would work with that. Like, I mean, I feel like they had to like invent a fighting style for this like centaur man beast.
And they sold us on like scaly lizard dogs.
And skags, yeah.
Yeah, I would die for the skags, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he like he hits the one and then like apologizes to it, and it's just like, yeah, we cool. We good.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I attacked you. It's fine. We're good.
But I love the 6-legged monster thing. I loved the way that they did it. I'm sure it was CG, but the way that it looked like a practical effect, and it kind of moved like that sort of 80s style.
Yeah.
Awkward. I thought it was great.
Well, and so then what I also love is, present day Boba Fett flat out refusing to be Jabba.
Yes.
Right. Like, he's not going to be carried around. He's not going to cause undue harm to people. He's going to earn respect.
Yeah.
Any way he can get it. And like he speaks the language of the bodyguards, right? Because they're like, they were loyal to the last people. And he's like, will you be loyal to me? And they're like, yeah, absolutely. And she's like, this is a bad idea. And he's like, yeah, it's not actually. This can be fine.
It has already come in handy.
Yeah, it's going to be fine. But yeah, like I'm totally cool with the whole season of just like watching Boba Fett wrestle control of this city from the mayor.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah.
I love how expansive Tatooine has become.
Yeah.
Really like a hub for the, I guess, yeah, I don't know. I'm
Would you
so
say like
excited.
scum and villainy?
Yeah. No greater hub of scum and villainy.
Yeah.
I love the little bar that they have and the Twilight Lady. I love the representative for the mayor.
Yeah, and like free jazz cantina theme.
Oh my god, when they walked into the cantina, I felt like, hold on, you're gonna laugh at this. I felt like they were like, "Hey, do you know Pulp Fiction? Hey, do the intro from Pulp Fiction."
But make it the cantina theme.
Because the little dude was like,
Yeah.
doing this whole tremolo thing.
Cantina Van Halen.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, it was rad, right? And it's been a year of marveling dangerously, and now we got Star Wars back.
We do have Star Wars back. And I will say, on fandoms in general, I needed Star Wars. I recently got back into Potter. I needed that.
Yeah.
Have
you watched The Thing yet?
I have about 20 minutes left.
I have more than that left, but I've started it.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I think that whole thing, we're doing that as our in-depth episode this week, so
Yeah.
we'll obviously go in depth. But the way that, I mean, when Alfonso shows up, we'll talk about it. We'll talk.
Yeah.
But I needed to, like, I've had a lot of Marvel. I need something else.
Yeah. And like I definitely when everything started getting pushed back with Marvel, I was like not upset at all. And then WandaVision came out and it was like a great, for the first 6-7 episodes, it was like a great ease back in. And now we're done with Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm just again like, shut up.
It's so good though.
It's so good, but I'm just like, stop telling me things about people.
Yes.
I don't want to know about superheroes anymore.
No, I don't. I want to know
because they've just been
about
casually
anything else.
cranking the stakes back up, and I'm like, okay. The next show I hope the next show is relatively chill. I mean, Hawkeye was great. Like that was
good. Very chill.
That was good coming right in between Eternals and Spider-Man.
Yeah, Eternals is big. They're gonna have to figure something out with the giant hand coming out of the ocean.
Yeah.
Gosh. But yeah, I needed Star Wars back. And what I've been trying to do, like, the other thing is in 2021, you and I had this huge commitment to, like, reading new to us material.
Yeah.
And I need familiarity so
like you
bad.
would not believe.
I need...
Like you would not believe.
I know these characters. I don't...
Yeah, it's like I'm jonesing to read books I read last January just because they like had time to cool.
I know. I'm sitting here like I picked up Elantris, which is a solo, like it's a Brandon Sanderson, but it's just one book. There's no like series to it, and like I keep looking at it like, God, I want to read this, but I can't. I cannot learn new characters. I can't learn a new magic system. I can't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
That being said, I did listen to like 10 or 11 of the series of unfortunate events books in like 2 days.
I know you did.
So there's also some part of me that's like, I don't ever want to hear Tim Curry speak ever again.
You might not be wrong about that.
I don't want to say anything about Tim Curry, actually, because too many beloved celebrities have been dying recently.
That's true.
We're back on our like 2016 grind.
Yeah, no, I don't want that. Man, I really enjoyed this Book of Boba Fett show. I don't even know how to predict what I think what'll happen next. I love the Bacta tank. I love how vulnerable he is, but also how like genuinely strong he is. I mean, that's what they keep reminding us about Mandalorians is like, you think they're these superhuman fighters, and they are. But where one dude can take on 3 guys, a Mandalorian can take on 5. And if we give him 6, he'll lose.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like,
But sometimes he comes home with a big centipede monster centaur thing's head and earns the respect of the Tusken Raiders that way.
yeah.
I do love
That
that
would
we're
be-
constantly just getting like more humanization of the Tuskens.
Yeah. I think that's one of the best things about Disney era Star Wars.
They are still just interestingly like Jawas are bad. Jawas are bad. people.
Jawas are greedy.
Greed is bad, guys. I mean, I get
Yeah.
it. Like, if anybody's going to take his armor, and also like we established that that's who got it was the Jawas.
Yeah.
But yeah, like as much as the Tuskens are getting their due, the Jawas are still just like, hey guys, Jawas are just our scapegoat enemy here.
But they're not like they're like a non-violent enemy for the most part.
For the most part, yeah, they're just annoying.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you get at Starbucks?
Caramel brulee latte.
I have a bone to pick with coffee right now. In that I got a new coffee machine.
Yeah,
It's been like a month now.
yeah.
And it has its own scoop. And it says if you're filling the carafe on the scooper, it says if you're filling the carafe, use 4 to 7 scoops.
That is a lot of variation there.
That's a lot of variation.
Yeah.
And so I like I've had this coffee machine for like a month and I cannot get I just can't get it to where I want it to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I just can't find a rhythm where I'm like, okay, this makes a good cup of coffee. And then also, I don't always want to fill the carafe. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
sometimes I just want a cup of coffee. I mean, I know I could just use a tablespoon and measure it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Are you grinding your own beans, or you?
No, I actually I don't mind grinding my own beans, but if it's in a drip coffee maker, I generally just buy whatever like the cheapest Kroger coffee they make is.
Jesus Christ.
It's just I'm not doing a pour over or anything.
I mean, that's fair. But yeah, I usually just let the grinder decide.
How do you do? I don't understand. How do you do that?
Like most grinders have like they decide how many cups of coffee is enough coffee grounds.
How?
What do you mean? They have like a cup setting.
Show me.
Well, mine doesn't.
Well then, what?
But like your brother's coffee maker at the office, you just
That's like a grinder and the coffee maker all in one, isn't it?
negative.
No, they have the.
It's the same brand, but yeah. But yeah, just you press like if you want 8 cups, you press 8 cups, and it dispenses that amount of grounds.
Okay. So you put the beans into the machine,
Yeah,
and then you say, I want 8 cups, and then it grinds up 8 cups worth
Yeah.
of beans. Okay.
I mean mine doesn't, but I've measured it out before I put it in the
Right.
grinder with like a scale.
With the scale, you making a fancy coffee?
I mean, yeah, I have not a Keurig. I keep
Oh, you got a Keurig. You making a real fancy. That's the thing is my cheap-ass Kroger coffee is still better than Keurig coffee.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
God, that's awful.
I the fact that Nespresso has not put Keurig out of business yet is crazy to me.
Nespresso's so good.
It's so much better than Keurig.
Yeah.
Chemex is the word I was looking for. I have a Chemex.
Oh, you fancy.
Yeah.
I think my coffee maker's made by Ninja.
Oh, I know. I bought the same one for Christmas.
The one I have?
Yeah. Well, the step down from what you have.
Oh, okay. Does it have the frother? Mm-hmm. I like the frother. We've been making butterbeer.
I couldn't find a logistical difference between the two, and the one you have was like $70 more.
I have no idea.
But like I no, I'm not criticizing you in any way. It's just like they didn't have the one you had at Target, and they do have the one that I bought at Target, like ready for pickup, and it was 3 days before Christmas. But also like I was looking back and forth between the pages, and I was like, they say the exact same thing.
Yeah, mine has some features that, like, obviously I will never use. Like, all
Yeah.
I really want is brew me a hot pot of
Well,
coffee.
she really dug the fact that you could, because she loves to make iced coffee,
Oh yeah, so Emily liked that
and
too.
she
liked
loved
you
the
brew
fact that
cold.
she could just put a cup under it and have it make her iced coffee.
Yeah. I don't do iced coffee. I drink hot coffee 365 days a year. That's not a flex. I think they just give you more liquid with a hot coffee, and I don't like it when it gets watered down.
I like an iced coffee a lot. I'm more likely to
don't-
drink a black iced coffee than a black hot coffee. Sometimes I like my coffee to be bruised.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike iced coffee. If somebody hands me an iced coffee and it's like, hey, I went to Starbucks, here's an iced coffee, I'll drink it.
Yeah.
I'll drink it and be like, man, this is delicious. I should get iced coffee more often.
Oh, I will drink a black iced coffee from Starbucks. I will never drink a black hot coffee from Starbucks.
No, I won't either. Their water's too hot.
Yeah, I don't know why they even sell hot coffee.
Yeah.
Like drip coffee. It's disgusting.
It's very bad. Yeah.
People
I
like
think it's so
Starbucks
that
burns
when-
their beans, and I'm like, yeah, so they can get a coffee taste in their, caramel brulee latte.
Right.
That's what you're supposed to get from Starbucks.
Right. I think it's so that when like macho men go into Starbucks and they're like, I'll take a black coffee, that Starbucks can be like laughing at them.
Yeah.
Like, ha ha ha, you thought you beat the system.
Yeah.
Also, I think Starbucks doesn't want to sell a $1.75 cup of coffee.
No, absolutely not.
Right? Like, I think they want to sell a $10.
Yeah. But like, and that's the thing is people are like, Starbucks coffee sucks. And I'm like, yeah, because you're buying the wrong thing from Starbucks. And I get it. If the wrong thing from the coffee shop is to go in and order a coffee, we just need to manage expectations when it comes to Starbucks, right? Like we're expecting Starbucks to be something that it is not.
I mean, we are not.
We're not, but we as a society.
Yeah. What is your go-to Starbucks drink right now? Creme or brulee?
No, it's Pet Mocha. They're just out of Pet Mocha at the Starbucks that I go to.
So I know where you live, and I
Yeah.
know not where a Starbucks nearby you is, but I do know of at least two like niche coffee shops. One of them that's a little commercialized because they're pretty big around town, but one of them that's like a coffee shop.
I would rather have a hot, at this point in my life, I'd rather have a hot drip coffee from Starbucks than anything from Mill Mountain.
I think you got burned by Mill Mountain.
They're not very good.
But Cello's good.
Cello's good, yeah, for sure. But I don't always want, a Turkish coffee. Sometimes I want a caramel brulee latte.
We have an R&D here in Vinton you can go to.
Definitely closer to like regular R&D.
At Wasina.
Yeah. But the Starbucks is right there next to Sheetz.
Next to Sheets.
Yeah. On the other side of Williamson.
Oh, over by where I used to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know where Starbucks is. We used to go there all the time.
I go either to that one or the one at the bridges, literally depending on which way my car is facing.
Where do I get Starbucks?
But the Bridges Starbucks sucks.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's not good. They get like last pick of ingredients, apparently. They're always out of stuff these days.
I don't know, man. Call Seattle.
I've been
Say
feeling
hey.
off and on under the weather recently. I've been getting a lot of medicine balls from Starbucks. That is a good thing.
What's a medicine ball?
The honey citrus mint tea.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's like mint tea, peach tea, honey, and lemonade.
Sounds really
Like
good.
hot. It's really good.
I get I've been doing a London fog with oat milk.
Those are
Which
also
is
good.
Earl Grey and oat milk. That's really good. I've always been a chai latte.
Yeah, I
with
don't
oat
like
milk
chai very
guy.
much.
I love chai. I'm a big chai guy.
Yeah, it was like I was never that big into chai. And then I went to India for 2 weeks and there was chai everywhere. And it was like, not to be that guy, but it was like way better because it's like where it comes from.
I'm certain it would be way better.
Yeah, and so then I got back here and I was like, man, I really don't like chai now.
Well, and like Starbucks is just using Tazo, which I buy at my house. Like, so
Yeah.
I end up spending way too much for it if I go to Starbucks
Yeah.
because I have all the ingredients at my house.
Yep.
And a frother.
What kind of
What
Starbucks
else?
drink do you think Boba Fett would buy?
Boba Fett. I think people would think he's doing a black coffee.
No way, dude. He's way
but
too
I don't think
soft for
he
that.
is. Yeah, I agree. I think.
And he gets it too, right? Like he would.
But do you think he does like a drip coffee, mixes his own cream and sugar?
No. I think mixing your own cream and sugar in the coffee at Starbucks is insulting to the people that work at Starbucks.
I agree. I think they think that too, which is why all the cream and
Yeah.
sugar's nasty.
Yeah. Also, yeah, if I want a black coffee with cream and sugar in it, with like a creamer packet and a sugar packet in it, I'm just not going to Starbucks.
Right. I'm making it at home.
Yeah, I'm rethinking my life.
Right.
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Oh, you know what? He has green armor. He painted himself. You think he's a matcha guy?
Probably.
I think he is. I think he understands something about the healing properties of that tea.
Yeah.
Maybe put some turmeric in there or something.
Yeah. He might be a yerb guy, man.
Yeah.
Get the yerba mate.
Yerba mate, that's the one with the straw.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you make it properly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's in like a fancy cup.
Yeah. Tastes like moss.
Is it good?
No. No, it's not. I've done like it's an Argentine thing originally, and I've done it like proper
Uh-huh.
when I was in college, and I was like, this is disgusting.
Let's see.
And it's
Boba
definitely
Fett.
not COVID friendly either, because you the traditionally you pass it around like a bong, and like everybody there's like one cup of yerb at the table.
Oh, and like everybody just like slams that?
Yeah, back like around the circle.
Gross.
Yeah, definitely not COVID friendly.
I saw Riot. You remember Riot? Sort of Star Wars podcast, shout out.
Yeah.
He was doing something that, I mean, I love Riot. I think he's amazing, and I want to be very clear about that. But I saw in his Instagram story, he was doing something very not COVID friendly, and it was like passing a ping pong ball by like blowing it out of your mouth. And I was like, what is happening right now?
Yeah, there's definitely some procedures of like old school party culture where like pre-COVID party culture where I'm like, man, we really just
How am I
did-
not dead?
How am I not dead? Yeah. Cuz
My
I've like it's been a rare experience, but I've played beer pong with beer in the cups.
Oh God, no! You
That's
couldn't
disgusting.
pay me.
Why did we
Yeah.
do that?
Especially like because I think the first time you and I played beer pong, it was like outside at a Halloween party at Virginia Tech. I don't know if that was probably not your first time, but my first time I think playing beer pong was there.
Yeah.
And the ball like goes into the dirt
Yeah, on
and,
the
like,
ground,
is on the ground, like outside where people have been like
standing.
peeing and vomiting and
Yeah.
sweating and
That being said, the ground probably doesn't have COVID.
ground's probably pretty safe. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to lick
Yeah.
anything that isn't food these days, the ground's probably better than doorknobs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I would just avoid licking things that aren't food.
Well, same.
And then, probably, unless you're eating ice cream or like a lollipop, don't lick your food.
Just put it in your mouth.
Just put it in your mouth and chew it.
Chew your lollipop.
Chew. Hi, Mr. Owl would know something about that. How many licks does it take to get the center of Tootsie Pop? 3.
Hun.
2. 3.
3.
No, but I think you're spot on with the matcha, honestly. I really do.
Yeah, I think he's a matcha guy.
Healthy respect
have
for
you ever-
Japanese culture.
Oh, yeah, this show. Yeah, oh, yeah. You know when they made Star Wars Visions that Dave Filoni called up and was like, actually, my show, my new Book of Boba Fett show is going to be an anime. And they were like, no, you have to do it live action this time.
You have to do a live action, yeah.
It was like, no, it's going to be like, it was like Japanese, it's going to be cool.
What if instead of the Book of Boba Fett, they did Boba Vision, where it was like 11 different sitcoms.
And Vision was in it.
And yeah, and Vision was in it.
I think Paul Bettany is in Star Wars, right?
Vision. Yeah, Paul Bettany is.
He's in Solo.
Yes, I was trying to remember his name.
Oh,
He's the like bounty hunter boss guy.
yeah, couldn't begin to tell you. I think we should get together and watch Solo. I don't know if you've thought about this idea. I think we should watch Solo sitting on the same couch.
Okay, I could be game for that.
Yeah.
I'm about that life.
I have a feeling, knowing my wife and your fiance, we will end up watching Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, but I want to plan to watch Solo.
Interesting choice. On the
that's
on the
where
Potter.
I'm at.
Okay.
We're on 4 right now.
Okay.
So
As always with these new shows, love the droid.
yes,
I
love how human the droid is.
Yeah, the sassy, not protocol droid.
I love when they was like, we really should get a protocol droid.
They like, I didn't understand a word of that.
That's my thoughts on Book of Boba Fett episode 1. I want to talk about this show. I'm sure you do too. So if you want to talk to us on Discord, which is $3 a month, or you can talk to us through our Patreon page, or you can talk to me on Twitter for free, or on our Facebook group for free. I want to talk more about Book of Boba Fett. I'm excited about this show. I want to see where it goes.
And we'll see you next Monday.
See you next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.